Hoyas, today is your day. Each step you take has brought you here. Anticipation, hope, perseverance, and determination. You have left your mark. This is your legacy. You brought a wave of strength and resilience to D.C., overcoming challenges unseen for generations, and you rose to the occasion. Ready to defy expectations, each step you take is rooted in your dreams, aspirations, and vision for the future. Today is the culmination of all your hard work and the spark that will ignite change in the world. One class on the verge of greatness, a class built for this moment, rises to meet the moment. We gather with our families, friends, and loved ones today to celebrate the class of 2020. Your gifts, your talents, your fullest selves, poised to make an impact far beyond the hilltop. Our mission as people for others has just begun. Each step you take, we take together. Because with each step, you are part of something bigger. A community of Hoyas who lives our values out loud. From that first step onto the hilltop to the next step out into the world ahead, we are forever Hoyas. Today, we step forward as Hoyas, a community who knows no bounds. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are Georgetown. Every Hoya, this is your moment. Let it be heard. Hoya Saxa.
the fall of 2020, but as you know, no one was here for the fall of toll COVID has withstood the test of time. You in Georgetown have been strengthened by the rigors imposed on all of us, and now perhaps, as with so much of life's most important moments, it is all the sweeter for having been so long postponed.
And let us continue in prayer by bowing our heads. Good and gracious God, source of all life, we have felt your presence these last years as we have navigated the COVID storm and its interruptions to our life, especially the interruptions of this Georgetown class of 2020. Lord, we thank you for surrounding us with the care and compassion of all those who have helped us find the best path forward as we became a community dispersed throughout the world. We thank you, Lord, for our friends, our families, our faculty and staff here at Georgetown, and all those who carried us through this pandemic. As we come together to celebrate our achievements, Lord, we pray for a nation plagued by gun violence, racism, the images of grieving parents, the By your grace, we ask you, God, to allow our sorrow, compassion, and shame to motivate us to action, to move our hearts and minds to create a more safe and just world, to use our talent and our faith to create a better tomorrow. We call upon the power of your love to bless us in all our strivings for the better, for the magis, our striving to be women and men for others. May all that we do be ad maiorem Dei gloriam, for the greater glory of God. Amen.
Thank you, Father Bosco. Please be seated. As you will hear in a few minutes, the Congress of the United States has chartered Georgetown to do two things: to examine students and to confer degrees on those who succeed in those examinations. We've already done both of those things for your class, but today we come together to recognize your achievements, to celebrate you as individuals and as a whole class, and perhaps most importantly, to give you the opportunity to come together once more to enrich and deepen your ties to one another as members of the Georgetown family. On January 13th, 1789, our founder, the Most Reverend John Carroll, then first Archbishop of Baltimore and first Catholic bishop in the United States, acquired legal title to a 1-acre plot of hilltop that became the Dahlgren Quadrangle that you can still see. We mark that date as the university's founding date. Our first student, the future North Carolina Congressman William Gaston, arrived here in 1791. And it was in 1815, with a student enrollment passing the 100 mark, that the college's president, Reverend John Grassi of the Society of Jesus, asked then Congressman Gaston to present a petition for a federal charter, a document that still today sanctions this university's academic enterprise. Georgetown's is the first federal charter in the history of the Republic and enjoys the additional distinction of having been signed by President James Madison, father of the U.S. Constitution. It is our custom to initiate all academic ceremonies with a reading of that charter, and to discharge that duty, it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Marie Matson, Secretary of the University.
An act concerning the College of Georgetown in the District of Columbia. Be it enacted of Columbia to admit any of the students belonging to said college or other persons meriting academical honors to any degree in the faculties, arts, sciences, and liberal professions to which persons are usually admitted in colleges and universities of the United States, and to issue in an appropriate form the diplomas or certificates which may be requisite to testify to the admission of such degree. Signed, Langdon Chivas, Speaker of the House of Representatives; John Gaillard, President pro tempore of the Senate. Approved March 1st, 1815, James Madison, President of the United States.
Thank you, Marie. There are two people sitting on this stage who have been waiting for 2 long years to do what they were selected to do in May of 2020. They were the 2 seniors, members of your class, chosen to address the senior convocation. We are delighted that they are able to return to us today, one all the way from Oxford University, to offer their reflections. Now,
Finally, thank you to Wise Miller's Deli, or Wisey's, as we call you. 2 years felt hardly gone by when I ordered that Chicken Madness sandwich last night. And I'm sure us returning graduates will enjoy many similar experiences this weekend. It is great to be back. Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, for the greater glory of God. These words feature all around us as the primary value or spirit of Georgetown University. Taken from the motto of the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits, our founders, AMDG suggests one simple idea: that every action has meaning, because our learning, our labor, and our lives can always advance and reveal God's loving presence in our world. 2 years ago, my friends and I spent our last night on campus in a building inscribed with AMDG, focused on our theses and locked in on current affairs. We snuck into the Thompson Athletic Center to play basketball on the practice court. No varsity athletes there. The game commenced, and a tall figure began watching us from the balcony of the coach's office. We swore it was Coach Ewing. Our excitement built, as if the Hoyas coach, and a New York Knicks great, I might add, was scouting for a new player. But as soon as one of us airballed a wide open shot, it wasn't me, Coach stepped away in disappointment, and the tryout concluded. A few days later, our senior year and journey on this campus ended just as suddenly, disappearing amidst the joy of spring break and leaving many adventures unfinished. But an abrupt ending to our senior spring, a missed shot, could never threaten the class of 2020. AMDG reminds all of us in the Georgetown family, no matter our religious persuasion, that our achievements, struggles, and studies in this place were no mere collection of accolades, failures, or facts on a page. Our efforts, joys, and sorrows here did not simply culminate in consulting internships, social prominence, or even academic honors. They meant and aimed at much more. As the spirit of Georgetown, Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam sent the class of 2020 further beyond those transitory things of a tenuous world. And it did so precisely by commissioning us for the light and service of that same world nonetheless. A world we soon found darkened by deadly disease, lockdowns, mob violence, and a shocking invasion. Most people thus express regret upon learning that we graduated in 2020. And yes, those spring months and these past 2 years have changed us forever. Many who hoped to attend this ceremony still have no hope to travel. And some others have surely passed away. But as the class of 2020, we are blessed and we are proud to say that Georgetown changed us first. We were ready, with our values standing tall. My friends, Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam prepared us as Georgetown students for times such as ours, when the things of the world would fail us, yet when the world itself would need us even more, would need us to do and serve the good in the ways we've individually been called, in our growth at Georgetown and by God. We have become nurses and soldiers, artists and analysts, doing much more than recalling those facts on a page. Georgetown taught us from the start to contemplate and act upon the things that matter, to face challenges with generosity by sharing our talents with the whole person and the entire world, no matter how broken, and to achieve the purpose of our lives with eyes fixed not on worldly success or worldly success alone, but on the greater glory of God. I fully realized Georgetown's role in my life in a poignant, personal way these past 2 years. Serious illness affected my family in 2020, as it may have for many of yours. Immediately, Georgetown friends and mentors from all over the world rallied to my aid with prayer and support. Even my economics training guided me through medical journals and studies filled with frightening terms that I had no choice but to learn in a position of responsibility. And most crucially, my Catholic spiritual foundation, cultivated in these halls, gave me the clarity and strength to persevere. Like all of us in these times of COVID, I never expected my college experience to bear those fruits at the age of 22. Yet AMDG meant that the spirit of Georgetown shined through when and how my world needed it most. So, my friends, we return here having seen the world around us. Today is not a send-off. We return and can declare that we, in fact, are the luckiest class because we have seen life as it is, so close to our time at Georgetown and with our mission so freshly in mind. Unshaken by worldly trials, we have counted ourselves ready to seek the higher things, to give and not count the cost, and to go to all nations with the hope of a better tomorrow. Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam. Therefore, today's commencement vindicates Georgetown and the class of 2020. We can recall and we can celebrate on this day of our convocation and for the rest of our lives that we are fortunate, we are inspired, and we are graduates of Georgetown University. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Sarah Rotenberg of Canada graduated from the School of Nursing and Health Studies with a degree in global health. She was elected to both Alpha Sigma Nu and Phi Beta Kappa. After transferring to Georgetown in the fall of 2017, Sarah was involved in relaunching the Transfer Council. She also served on the Center for Social Justice's Advisory Board for Student Organizations. And she conducted research both in the global health and the India initiative. While in India, she worked on accessibility issues for the Mumbai Metro, building a transportable collapsible stool for people with disabilities. In 2020, Sarah was awarded a Rhodes Scholarship, the first from the School of Nursing and Health Studies. Currently, she is pursuing a doctorate in primary health care at the University of Oxford. Sarah.
Thank you, Provost Groves. I am overjoyed to be here speaking with you today in person. And as an extraordinary procrastinator, I'm very grateful for this 2-year extension. I started writing this speech before coronavirus. I was going to speak about how in 2017, I had to move home from college unexpectedly. I was worried this story wouldn't be relatable. But now the speech I would have given in 2020 is all the more fitting. My story begins with a confession. Now, President DeGioia, you might want to cover your ears for this part. I was not supposed to be a Hoya. Instead, I moved to Singapore in 2015 and I was prepared for what I thought would be the greatest adventure of my life and a nice reprieve from 18 years of Canadian winters. But life didn't go as planned. Instead of adventure, I got an unasked for, practical introduction to disability rights law. For the first time in my life, I was repeatedly denied the right to an equitable education because of my disability. Despite advocating for change, I realized I could not continue. Halfway through my sophomore year, I left college, unsure of whether or not I would return. Moving home for 6 months left me adrift, and for a while, I felt hopeless. That fall, I transferred to Georgetown. But arriving here, I was absolutely terrified. Would I be able to crack it? Was I the problem? Would I be able to wear real clothes after so long of living in sweatpants? Slowly, I found my way. Georgetown provided the academic support I needed, mentors who believed in me despite my checkered academic past, and great friends. But 2 classes, the Art of Furniture and the India Innovation Studio, changed my life forever. In the spring of 2018, I enrolled in a furniture making class to explore this idea I had for a transportable, collapsible stool for people with disabilities. My first attempt was an epic failure. My mother lovingly referred to the prototype as transportable IKEA furniture, and my magnetism to injury practically occupied the germs ambulance service that semester. I hung up the hammer, thinking my furniture days were behind me, but my chair wasn't quite done with me. The following spring, I went on a class trip to India as part of the India Innovation Studio. At each infrastructure project we toured, my questions always circled back to accessibility. By day 3 of pestering Professor Naruddin, he turned to me and said, "You seem to be interested in this. Why don't you go and study it?" I laughed. At that time, I was still fully invested in studying the niche and unknown topic of pandemic preparedness. Ironic, I know. And I actually didn't think that studying accessibility was for me. I had never told my story, and I wasn't sure that I would ever want to. But the next night, At a cocktail party, I met an architect who made furniture, had an interest in my stool project, and it all seemed to be a sign. That summer, I returned to India to try researching accessibility and to make my transportable, collapsible stool with my new architect friend. The rest is history. I've come to realize that many things in my life, if not come about for good reason, then have been reason for good to come about. My darkest moment led me to Georgetown, which unequivocally changed my life. At Georgetown, I got the chance to turn my former exclusion into vocation. I now spend my days researching how to improve health systems for people with disabilities in the hope that one day we will reduce health, education, and social inequities for all people with disabilities. So that's my story, one of disruption, isolation, and uncertainty. When I left school in 2017, I felt grief. I still feel it, and I think it's the right way to feel. It's right to mourn the loss of an expected future. But I've also realized that there's great duality to every moment. Not a single lining or a bright side, but duality. Terrible catastrophes are not explained away by a call to perseverance, but we should not let our hopelessness overlook the possibility of growth, grit, and resilience helping us find meaning and motivation in these moments. It is on those worst days that we learn more about ourselves, our capacity for resilience, and the power of community. I've shared my story today because I know it's your story of challenge and resilience too. Each of us here today, graduates, professors, parents, families, and friends, have experienced one of the greatest disruptions in the past century and come through it. And while the present is unstable and the future unpredictable, we are certainly prepared for it. So, class of 2020, congratulations on making it to our belated graduation. Let's hope the worst is behind us, but for whatever lies ahead, we are ready. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John and Sarah. The honorary degree citation will be read by Dr. Soika Diggs-Colbert, Professor of African American Studies and Performing Arts.
Would the honorary degree recipient please come to center stage? Today, Georgetown honors a civil rights leader and advocate who has helped to transform how we can pursue social and racial justice in the digital age. Throughout his career, Rashad Robinson has engaged the resources of digital engagement to seek lasting change. He has shared his own perspectives and he has pursued the vision at the organization Color of Change. Through large-scale campaigns and strategic organizing of its members, Color of Change has successfully held prosecutors, corporations, and politicians accountable for injustice, and fought to defend the rights, safety, and dignity of Black communities across our country. Under Robinson's leadership, the organization has grown from less than 1 million to more than 7 million members. A passionate organizer and storyteller, Robinson has described his work as building a new infrastructure, using online connections to build community and foster change so that, in his words, people can be heard for themselves. He has pioneered new ways to harness the stories and political will of millions of Americans, channeling a hunger for change into campaigns and calls for tangible action. From ending money bail, to defending the right to vote for all, to ensuring equitable treatment for Black workers. In addition to his work with Color for Change, he has served as a leader with the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, GLAAD. He has contributed to efforts to protect and restore voting rights for those in the criminal justice system through the Right to Vote campaign. As the former national director of Fair Vote, he built a nationwide coalition to defend and expand voter enfranchisement. A lifelong advocate and for his leadership in fostering civic and community engagement. Georgetown University confers upon Rashad Robinson the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Congress of the United States and by the Board of Directors of Georgetown University, I officially confer upon Rashad Robinson the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. And it's now my honor to invite our newest Hoya, Dr. Rashad Robinson, to address the class.
And I'm so grateful to have this 2-year check-in with you. I've missed you when you were seniors, and maybe now you're sort of back to being sophomores. Is that how that works? But 2 years into jobs or grad school or self-discovery or family caretaking or whatever you've taken on as your first course beyond college. You didn't all come from the same place when you started college, and you certainly are not all in the same place now. Some of you are carrying a great deal of loss, and some of you aren't, but are trying so hard to help the people who are. Some of you always knew that you'd get to where you are, and some of you never imagined you could or would. Some of you are coming from families who do not accept who you are or who you are becoming. And on the other hand, some of you are pursuing lives and paths and already claiming positions in society that your families think of as your birthright. While others among you are out there breaking barriers for your families that you have long strived for, they have long strived for, and that people along the way tell them that they had no business holding. Some of you even have families, parents, grandparents, siblings, cousins, depending on you. In reality, you are already working across purposes relative to many of your now former classmates, perhaps even in direct opposition to one another. The fact that you went to the same school may create dialogues and opportunities, bridges for understanding, or it might mean nothing at all. 2 years out, what have you learned? What could you come back here and teach if you had to? What did you not yet learn that you want to, and what do you not yet understand that someone sitting here next to you can help you understand? While every 2-year period is part of history, not every 2-year period is historic. Definitely not in the way that these last 2 years have been. You graduated right as the murders of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and so many others gave mass permission and provided the unignorable motivation for millions of people to voice their demand for a different world. Millions of people full of hope for the possibility of change, and even more so, full of the possibility for the role they could play in the process of effecting that change. 2020 was the deadliest year on record for trans people until the following year broke that record. 2020 marked the highest level of voter participation in 100 years, and 2020 forced the hand of global leaders to coordinate on COVID in the way that they still refuse to do on climate. Back in 2020, few people believed that NFTs were real, but more people believe than ever that systemic racism was. What was important to you in 2020? What's important to you now? What has become brighter and what has faded? If you had a dream, has it become more real or less? And if you didn't have a dream, do you have one now? What ideas about the world did you have then, and which of them have changed? Even if you didn't graduate during an unprecedented pandemic, and even if we weren't in the middle of political upheaval right now, I would be asking you these same questions. Because questions are the signposts that tell us what path we're on if we're brave enough to look at them. In my work, I get pulled into all sorts of directions, and I have to have a very strong sense of justice because I'm constantly being told to change it. They tell me to change my definition of justice to meet reality instead of working to make reality meet my definition of justice. So a story about that. So not long ago at Color of Change, we told major banks and credit card companies and major digital money exchanges that funding right-wing nationalist organizations was not justice, that enabling them to raise money and distribute money was not justice. But they wanted us to believe that justice was openness, that justice was impartiality, that there were actually two sides to racist violence. They wanted to have it both ways. They wanted to market to black customers by day while financing anti-black violence by night. In fact, the banks would tell us the problem was with the credit card companies, and the credit card companies would tell us to go to the banks. And then Charlottesville happened. And we went back to them telling them that we were going to draw a direct line between the fundraising they enabled and the violence we saw take place. And all of a sudden they started to say, yes, okay, right, it's a problem. So here are the organizations that we are going to stop processing fees for. We didn't change our definition of justice, we forced them to change theirs. When you left 2 years ago, you may have carried with you many definitions of many different things, and you will always face pressures to change them. That is the complex challenge of social change. Social change depends on changing our definitions of some things while holding fast to others. Progress is changing our definitions on gender. Progress is changing our definitions of activism and who activists are. Progress is changing our definition of who and what is responsible for injustice we see in our world, and also our definition of who is best capable to leading us to a more just world. I myself, a black gay man, was not always part of that definition when I was growing up. Who would see me as an expert? Who would ever see me as a leader? I had to change that definition to make space for myself, maybe to make space for some of you out there, just as others have made space for me. What definitions will you change that will make new realities possible? What will make new characters and new protagonists in the story of this country and this world possible? What definitions will you hold on to and refuse to change, because not changing your definitions can also be what is required to force new realities into existence? It's hard to know when to do which. Sometimes absolute definitions are what we need to prevent us from sliding backwards, like holding on to a standard of justice and not letting it be watered down and compromised so much that opening up opportunity for only a few poses as an acceptable substitute for guaranteeing liberty and justice for all. Sometimes, of course, absolute definitions are absolutely what prevent us from moving forward. But it's often hard to know which decision to make for yourself. It's kind of easy to know when others are playing games, when others are not struggling over these tensions, but merely exploiting them in the most self-serving way. All through our work at Color of Change, we see powerful forces trying to have it both ways, trying to play both sides. They'll say to us, well, we give a little to this side and we give a little to that side, and we have to say back to them, there are not two sides to justice. There's not two sides to equity. There's not two sides to freedom. So beware. Beware of those who tell you that playing both sides makes you a hero. It may make you rich, but it does not make you a hero. Because a hero does not play both sides. A hero picks a side, whether or not you lose some of your fans in doing so. So you need to know what your bottom line is before other people try to define it for you. In the technology space, so many companies right now are trying to have it both ways. They want to be known as a force for freedom, even as they enable greater and greater attacks on the very ideas and institutions and integrities that make us free. They want us to redefine our definition of harm, just like the fossil fuel industry wants us to have us pretend that our communities would be worse off without them, rather than recognizing the truth. The reality is that so much of the very technology that is supposed to take us into the future is dragging us into the past, making us believe that we don't have facts, making us believe that we can sacrifice each other's health for profit, each other's freedom for profit, each other's voice in our democracy for profit. We have to take back the definition of progress, and that will be a role for this generation. So for each of us, this connects to this, a simple yet powerful question. How do I define myself? What is your bottom line for what will you embrace and what you will oppose? What is your bottom line for what you will help society tolerate and what will you help society change? 2 years ago, many people thought the best we could do was clap outside of our windows cheering for essential workers to make noise when it was too hard to accept how hard it was to make actual change. But then protests of a very different sort followed the murders of George Floyd, redefined what people felt they could do and felt was necessary. Because racial justice is not just an outcome of successful movements, it is a motivator that makes social movements successful. It's a strategy because when you ensure racial justice, you wind up ensuring the greatest benefit for everyone. An environmental change that is rooted in racial justice will produce the best results for the planet. And a technology rooted in racial justice will ensure the greatest safety for everyone. Racial justice is not just the charitable thing we do, it is the most strategic thing we do if we want to make the world a better place. And so for all of you, you will be defined by the actions you take or don't take, not merely the opinions you hold or don't hold. If you want to see things in the world change, you must define yourself not by your presence, but by your power. Presence is necessary to be powerful, but it doesn't make you powerful or make your cause powerful on its own. We can be on the front pages of the paper, have the most viewed videos, we can have more people in the streets, but if we are not figuring out how to parlay that achievement into changing how things actually work, it's not power. That definition, the difference between presence and power, between fake solutions and real solutions, between the analysis of what needs to be different and the ability to actually make things different, is the most important definition when it comes to social change. There will be many people trying to manipulate you with more tools to do it than ever before. It is easier than ever to get lost, to mistake presence for power, to mistake the fake for the real, to confuse the theoretical injustices from the injustices that actually destroy people's lives and limit freedom. A multiracial democracy, a sustainable planet, a sustainable economy, and a culture of peace and justice. If you cannot figure out how the present can possibly add up to the future, I don't want you to lose hope. You, join with others, can become a new protagonist in the story of our country if you're willing to hold fast to definitions and be open to exploring new ones. Because your decisions matter. 10, 15, 20 years from now, there will be the story of this moment. And each of you right now get to begin to write the story about the character that you will play in that novel or in that movie. You, your friends, your class, this generation, I challenge, I invite you into this opportunity. You graduated in the middle of history, and your choices, your definitions will determine what comes next. You can help us find a way to a better future if you first take the brave step of finding and defining yourself. I cannot wait to see what you will define and what you will make possible that was not possible before. We need you more than ever. Let's get out there together and create more justice, more hope, and more freedom for all of us. Congratulations, class of 2020. It's my honor to be with you all.
Thank you, Dr. Robertson. We move now to the recognition of the members of the class of 2020. They will be presented to President DeGioia by the deans of the several schools in the following order: Georgetown College, the School of Nursing and Health Studies, the Edmund A. Walsh School of Foreign Service, the McDonough School of Business, and the School of Continuing Studies.
Thank you, Provost Groves. It gives me great pleasure to say this. Will the 2020 graduates of Georgetown College please stand? President DeGioia, as Dean of Georgetown College, I have the honor to present to you the representatives of the Georgetown College class of 2020. Their names will be read by Associate Deans Marlene Conlos and Tad Howard. Graduates, as you approach the stage, please follow the directions of the ushers. You may be seated.
We now invite each graduate to cross the stage to be congratulated by Dean Sabaggio and President DeGioia. I ask the audience to hold its applause until all of our students have been recognized. Georgetown College Bachelor of Arts graduates: Noor Abdel Motal, Maximilian Bo Adam, Andrew Adams Gutierrez, Nicole Jane Albanese, Claire Mary Alessi, Leanne Almeida, Otuma, Guadalupe Island Avila, Maisha Z. Awal, Julia Axtell, Ali Babiak, Dana Bajnoff, Catherine E. Baker, Sarah Nason Baker, Amrita Bali, Matthew Ryan Barrick, Christina Barrett, Kendrick Beausoleil, Cordelia P. Bell, Martina Benedetti Marshall, Celine Avery Bennett, Emma Burke, Kira Ann Burning, Julia Veronica Bew, Isha Bharadwaj, Molly K. Biederman, Rachel P. Biggio, Helena M. Black, Gaina Carly Blaze, Elizabeth Blake, Elizabeth Ashley Bloom, Samantha Margaret Boucher, Cass Edward Bohm, Charlotte Bunning, Evelyn Boland, Laura Balmany, Johnsenia Faye Brooks, Andre A. Bonanno, Kate Elizabeth Bonner, Montana Boone, Gabrielle Baruso, Stephen A. Bochwe, Jean Laura Bowers, Kaylin Georgia Brady, Anna Caroline Brake, Sienna Ray Brancato, Jack R. Brownfield, Haley Buchan, Matthew Henry Buckwald, Alexander Buffon, Emma E. Burns, Simone Elise Butler, Sophie Marie Bymark, Maria Elena Cahalan, Celine Labitan Calpo, Nicole Annette Calvario, Darcy Campbell, Michael Gabriel Barreto Castaño, Joan M. Castillo, John B. Cerulli, Orunima Chakraborty, Karina Chan, Madeline Charbonneau, Mahima Chaudhry, Timothy Fairbanks Childers, Olivia H. Chu, Clara Elena Chu, Yon Cho, Julia Choi, Grace Chung, John Paul Cipollone, Keenan D. Clark, Brendan McPherson Clark, Elspeth Yates Cohen, Rachel Cohen, Quinn McKenna Coleman, Ethan Cohn, Jonathan Campo, Kathleen Carol Connaughton, Caroline Grace DePaul, Sarah E. Connell, Mary Constance Corcoran, Taya L. Corona, Amanda M. Cortez, Claudia Costa, Hardin Council, Andrew Sebastian Crane, Elizabeth K. Cresson, Deshaun Cribbs, Daria Crawford, Anna Van Lenten Crowley, Fan Yu Tsui, Margaret L. Cullen, Max L. Kirschman, Michael H. Cusack, Gabriella Cherniowski, Joseph Andrew DeCash, Lauren Elaine Daly, Katrina Noel Davies, William B. Davison, Anne Isabel DeBouquet, Isla DeConti, Stephanie de Lesseps, Ines de Miranda, Michael J. DeFelice, Nathan A. DeGallery, Desdemona Adele Dupoitre, Catherine Derwitz, William Sanderson Detweiler, Frances Catherine Dewey, Delaney Caroline Dietzken, Micheline Romana DiNardo, Quing Eng Do, Aaron Doherty, Catherine Doherty, Brendan H. Dolan, Grace C. Donabedian, Riley J. Donlan, Mary Reed Donlan, Sarah D'Onofrio, Elizabeth H. Douglas, Grant A. Draper, Esther Dorr, Vikash Dodani, Naomi Duque, Alexa Eason, Rachel Eberhardt, Griffin P. Edmonds, Daniel B. Eigler Harding, Catherine Y. Estrada, Dejor Evans, Alexandra Giselle Faulkner, Grace L. Falvey, Sara Ferris, Brittany Allison Farias, Anne Marie N. Feeney, Danny Feller, Lydia Maria Fernandez, Candace R. Farrell, George Lawrence Farage,
Jeffrey Ferrigno, Brian A. Ferrigno, Dylan S. Fine. Emily Beth Fisher. Susan Claire Fisher. Arden Fitzpatrick. Angela C. Foley. Maddie B. Forbes. Norman A. Francis Jr. Marta Karina Franco. Jessica M. Frankovich. Abigail G. Frias. Victoria Galarraga. Bradley T. Galvin. Caroline Gardner. Nancy Elizabeth Garrett. Chadwick Gassman. Nora Gall. Caroline C. Geithner. Marina Gilardin. Annabelle N. Getz. Alan Kabinga Gishohi. Brandy Ginn. Michael B. Ginsberg. Angela Christine Glazer. Carly Ann Glickenhaus. Natalie Gomez. Marcela Gonzalez de Cosillo. Estela Teresa Gonzalez Vasquez. Jesse Goodwin. Carly Gordenstein. Amanda Grant. Christopher A. Gray. Emily R. Grafenius. Colin Gregoire. Matthew Gerard Grillo. Isabel Grunevagen. Margaret Grubert. Ruzi Guo. Amir Gurath Inthethib. Caitlin Hagan. Hee-Jin Han. Daniela Hagan. Kent A. Hall. Peter Lee Hamilton. Casey J. Hammond. Grant Alstrom Haney. Julia McCartney Harris. Maureen Harrison Dean. Sadie M. Hahn. Caroline P. Healy. Norjenna Hendy. Jennifer K. Hepner. Isabella R. Hershey. Phoebe Hicks. Sarah Yanes Hirshorn. Noelle Holliday. Phil H. Holt. Gustav Honel Stunkel. Olivia G. Horton. Kristen A. Hovland. Ella Sophia Howard. Catherine C. Hudson. Julie C. Hurtado. Eric Heisen. Joseph Igoni. Yewande Elawole. Theodore W. Ingracia. Charlotte Reed Jackson. Ariana James. Maya James. Keith Jarrett. Emily Jaster. Ryan Jelinek. John K. Jenkins. Olivia Jenkins. Anne Catherine Jennings. Ashiana Jetta. Olivia Inez Jimenez. Isabel Johnson. Aiden Troy Jones. Noah Thomas Joseph. Samuel S. Jocelyn. Selena Juarez Hernandez. Eric Allen Jubber. Karita Kabir. Ravisa Kelsey. Andishay Kamyab. Grace Su Min Khan. Kiho Kong. Shad Kanner. Kalia Karis. Emma Carlson. Alia Kawar. Paul J. Cady. Jessica Keller. Charlotte Taffel Kelly. Paige Keating Kelly. Fiona M. Kennedy. Callista G. Kim. Caroline Klein. James Ryan Konigsberg. Anna Claire Koken. Ava Trudy Hodokt Koplo. Emma Kotfika. Savita Krishnan. Caroline Lagumina. Theodora Lancaster. Caroline Landler. David Andrew Larson. Molly Elizabeth Ledwith. Courtney Elizabeth Lee. Stella Leitner. Claudia R. Leonore. Matthew J. Latiro. Thomas J. Levin. Kiara C. Lewis. Siyu Liang. Christina M. Lignell. Belen Limon. Charlotte Ann Lindsay. Jacqueline Velez Lippman. Edward Liriano. Blanca Yado Alvarez Salas. James Patrick Lochran. Caroline Grace Lovett. Anna Elizabeth Lustig. Phoebe Lynch. Hannah Lynch. Jake Nave Lyons. Kira McCauley. Ria Madan. Adam Magaletta. Jacob Mayman Statmauer. Olivier C. Mall. Karish K. Manier. Ryan Andrew Mannion. Arthur Mansett. Marissa Calvina Marshall. Lily Ann Martin. Cameron Martin. Kevin Adonis Martinez. William Levitt Martinez. James Matei. Charlotte Eve Matthews. Ryan Joseph Mazalatis. Last one. Neda Mazdiznian.
Gretchen Lynn McCarthy. Aiden George McDonald. Catherine J. McDonald. Patrick C. McGlinchey. Megan McKenna. Lydia Grace McMahon. Lily Elizabeth McMorrow. Mark McNiskin. Laura E. Miotti. Layla Kalista Maymond. Jennifer Miller. Elizabeth Grace Miller. Declan Mirabella. Sonali Mirpuri. Tiana L. Mobley. Joshua S. Mulder. Emily Moore. Matthew Morabito. Catherine Morgan. Matthew L. Moriarty. Noah Moss. Andrea Mata Dubois. Kiari Mumby. George Anton Murison. Catherine Hotsong Murphy, Meredith Nally, Isabella Narvaez, Zaina N. Nasora, Naomi Y. Natori, Kylie Marie Shahan Navarro, Kosi K. Ndukwe,
Right, Kosi.
Angela L. Newman, Brittany Min Tui No, Luke Nikiema, Carrie Lucille Nodine, Leah M. Northington, Jacqueline Nowakowski, Uju Wigwe, Elizabeth O'Brien, Caroline O'Brien, Kaylee K. O'Connor, Matthew O'Donnell, Philippa Kenny O'Hagan, Omoyele Okunola, Haley M. O'Mara, Miguel Ojeda, Justin Olander, Kira E. O'Neill, Joseph F. O'Reilly, Oluseyi Oshabamiro, Daniel A. O'Sullivan, Joanna W. Otis, Emily Grace Onanian, Eliza K. Palter, Caitlin Ann Penarella, Elizabeth Pankova, Isabel Perrette, Talia Parker, Allison R. Parshall, Samantha Whitney Paul, Anna Brooks Payshaw, Nicole A. Peck, Genevieve Elise Pennanen, Noelle A. Perigine, Marielle Peralta, Angela Dela Cruz Perez, David Perez, Willa Petty, Ali Marinda Rose Phillips, Felix B. Pilkington, Zachary L. Pine, Kendall A. Place, Marie Pombo Restrepo, Anna Popovich, Caroline A. Porterfield, Jonathan R. Prangley, Arya Mimi Prasad, Cassidy Pragil, Jillian Grace Provost, Tarjay Q. Purdy, Marissa Joyce Putrasanan, Callie Marie Randall, Adam W. Rathjen, Francis Maria Reed, Margot Reginensi, Iman Rahman, Isabel Reed, Lucas Renhifo Keller, Madeline Rice, Jessica Elise Richards, Casey L. Richards, O'Connor Richardson, Kiara Rickasack, Cesar Rios, Monica Rivero, Michael Masters Robbins, Paul Richard Rochford, Gabriela Maria Rodriguez Rios, Liam Lawless Rohde, Ariana Roman, Megan Elizabeth Rooney, Pedro Rosario Cintron, Ava M. Rosado, Catherine A. Rose, Harrison Rose, Thomas M. Rosiello, Josh Rawson, Daniel Rusher, Xavier Amir Ruffin, Laura Ruperez Sorovic, Catherine Russell, Juliana Pilar Rustum, Lauren H. Rutledge, Aaron E. Rudder, Matthew Sachs, Sabrina M. Sadagian, Mariana B. Siderni Garcia, Thalia Safar, Danny Sacca, Zakiah J. Saltzman, Caroline Nadine Sarda, Nikita Sardana, Catherine Flynn Sargent, Sydney Kaysen Scales, Jordan Schildkraut, Alexandra P. Schlesinger, Katja B. Schwenk, Tasso Scaleris, William B. Scoville, Sean P. Segerblom, Philip Seitz, Sophie Elizabeth Septoff, Peyton Shelburne, Nicole Rosalind Shanan, Karen Shee, Samia Shruti, Andre Silas Loiza, Sam Silverman, Antonia Lara Simon, William T. Simon, Hashwinder Singh, Lauren Nicole Sinek, Julia Slifka, Hannah Kathleen Smolson, Margot A. Snipe, Ross R. Snyder, Dominic Joseph Solari, Rachel Claire Stotts,
Katie Elizabeth Stanton, Alexis P. Stapleton, Stephen Stearns, Michael J. Stricker, Lucy Stebbins, Simalejusu Sonubi, Isaac Stone, Jennifer Sugijanto, Mathan Sutton, Nicholas Schweitzer, Howard Ty, Alexander Tanner, Francesco Luis O. Tantoco, Tyler J. Tate, Christian Tate, Larry F. Taylor, Sydney Lee Tevilt, Noah Edward Tulersky, Annabelle Maria Tellis, Gabriella Tu, Leah Thomas, Hunter Samuel Tiedemann, Jack Townsend, Sierra Nicole Townsend, Cindy Bitchow Tran, Whitney Tran, Catherine Gerard Tressler, William Turner, Francis Payne Tyler, Emma Vahey, Mallory Amanda Valente, Catherine D. Vanicola, Leon Vardinoyanis, Jane Brewster Vaughn, Michael Chase Wagers, Catherine Grace Wallace, Christopher Thomas Lovell Warren, Isaac Orion Warren, Neha Wasil, Caitlin C. Webbers, Anne Michelle Wendelin, Margaret Catherine White. Emma M. White. Vashti Adina Williams. Kayla Kiyomi Williams. Sari Wilson. Haley A. Wint. Catherine Ann Whitpen. Caroline Wall. Jelani Corinne Woods. Alexa Caroline Zylas. Dasu Milton Yoon. Ryan A. Young. Murphy Blaine Zown. Julianne Kelly Zeck. Brennan O'Toole. Katie Sinclair. Margaret Mahan. Jamie Kaplan. Bachelor of Science graduates. Sonia I. Ali. Anne Marie Catherine Altamare. Logan Arkema. Drew K. Bolster. Rex William Bone. Francesca Bazzo. Laura Brown. Hannah Brown. Alexander Brown. Alexandra Sigrid Brunges. Taylor J. Buffa. Ariel Valera Calver. Alec Kamhai. Daniel Crossan. Brian E. Damerow. Lilia H. Darrow. Kristen Kane. Joshua De Los Santos. Madeline Z. DeVita. Sarai John K. Farrell. Evelyn Fernandez. Christina Finn. Catherine Finnegan. Chloe Block Fishman. David James Fitzpatrick. Miranda Gabrielle. Camden Angelo Donovan Gray. Connery J. Gushwind. Alexandria Lexi Gutierrez Goldfarb. Dean Hampers. Varsha Harish. Haley Ann Hauk. Bradley Edward Hurst. Annika Yasmin Karmali. Elizabeth O. Kim. Mahesh N. Kumar. Madeline Claire Cuney. Jerry Law. Andrew Lee. Nare Lee. Aaron B. Leeds. Alexander Lacan. Sean Robert Latender. Noah B. Levesque. Benjamin Maltby. Sarah Eliza Malzberg. Gian Casey Ibrahim Mansouri. Florencia Martinez Adiego. Sean F. Melville. Vincent A. Miller. Brian M. Moriarty. Lucy Wilbur Morrison. Caitlin M. Murray. Emma Rose Nadell. Obianama Okani. Aletha Olvera. Federico Palicardo. Hannah L. Painter. Thomas Peacock. Stephanie H. Prusik. Joseph D. Ramirez Cardenas. Jeffrey R. Raitano. Claire R. Ressel. Sarah Ann Reuter. Timothy Ring Jr. Kat Rocha. Ava R. Robinson. Brendan Rooney. Michael Rushka, John Ryan, Catherine Schluth, Claire F. Sheridan, Cameron A. Smith, Isabella Sodi, Rachel S. So, Ashley Wong Song, Shreyas Sorter, Elizabeth M. Staub, Lillian Steinberg, Kira T. Sullivan, Annika Sundloff, Zachary P. Susswine, Kundmir F. Syed, Volkan Khan Tekmin, Elena R. Teramoto, Jonathan Toiv, Mary Meg Valentine, Marissa Claire Walsh, Gabby G. Walton, Bortsway Wu, Lauren Elise Yap, Jessica Eden Zabranik.
Thank you. Will the 2020 graduates of the School of Nursing and Health Studies please stand? Where are they? There we go. President DeGioia, as Interim Dean of the School of Nursing and Health Studies, I have the honor to present to you the representatives of the Nursing and Health Studies class of 2020. Their names will be read by Dr. Sarah Vitone. As you approach the stage, please follow the directions of the ushers. You may be seated. Thank you.
We now invite each graduate to cross the stage to be congratulated by Dean Monahan and President DeGioia. The Bachelor of Science students, Layla Abidi, Mark Alamban, Ryan Anderson, Iyana Brown, Caroline Elizabeth Buca, Kaylee Butler, Haley Byman, Omaris Margarita Caceres, Nicole Chen, Sabrina Cerviero, Morgan Connolly, Conleen Connors, Elizabeth Considine, Helena Cush, Delaney Darden, Gina DeRusso, Megan Dooley, Emmanuel Osemwege Imavon, Louisa Ferrari, Kennedy Emma Foles Lozitsky, Catherine Bernard Fertz, Lindsay Margaret Gallo, Julia Gassior, Lindsay Getz, Nicole Annette Gray, Brooke Geddes, Matthew James Heron, Gray Dylan Hill, Christine Panagon Howard, Yewan G, Thomas Alexander Kadar, Rebecca Kaiser, Catherine Ming Keedy, Natalia Callum, Anna Kammerer, Casey Kozak, Marie LaPlante, Rachel Lebowitz, Melissa Leo, Elaine Less, Ashley Nicole Leverett, Angela Yi Liu, Sarah Mishkevich, Annabelle Ng, Truk T. Nguyen, Keiichi Wakori, Amanda Perry, Alexander Elizabeth Poussin, Suad Petrovich, Nicholas J. Putaki, Rick Ramirez Ramos, Raghav Ranga, Jack Rattery, Rhea Rishihani, Morgan Robinson, Kate Rogers, Allison Ross.
Read through the back, Sarah.
Oh, Sarah Rodenberg, Ariellen Salyards, William Sardina, Ginia Sarkar, Isaac Schley, Christina Schott, Alexandra May Seiler, Peter Shamomian, Rebecca Sinha, Sabrina Sparks, Amanda Tang, Rachel Shuang Tao, Kate Marie Toner, Mary Frances Vermillion, Alexandra P. von Friedberg, Laura Elizabeth Wenzel, Jennifer Mary Wenzel, Helen M. Wickstrom, Jennifer Wortell, Rachel S. Williamson, Olivia Wilmarth, Dahe Christine Yoon, Tia Zhang, Yasmin Zook,
Will the 2020 graduates of the Edmund A. Walsh School of Foreign Service please stand? President DeGioia, as Dean of the Walsh School of Foreign Service, the oldest school of international affairs in the United States, I have the honor to present to you the representatives of the Foreign Service School class of 2020. The names will be read by Associate Dean Samuel Aronson. Please approach the stage and follow the directions of the ushers.
You may be seated. We now invite each graduate to cross the stage to be congratulated by Dean Hellman and President DeGioia. I ask the audience to hold its applause until all of our students have been recognized. Michael Abi Habib, Zoe B. Abraham, Carolyn Ann Adi, Sonia Aruj, Camille Afable, Gonzalo Aguirre, Dana Ahab, Gordon William All, Michaela Balone Carino, Miriam Al-Sudi, Juliana Maria Arias Gonzalez, James Banbury, Margaret L. Barnhorst, Alicia M. Barry, Nadalyn A. Batty, Aaron Baum, Justice C. Bennett, William Shuti Balisic, Megan Boit, Ben Bolero, Pietro Bonfiglio, Rochelle Bonha, Georgia Shunley Brainerd, Michaela Batisman Areno, Megan Bunona, Dylan Burke, Sophia M. Beauchamp, Shelby Butt, Erin Leitner Byrne, Olivia Callis, Rakesh Kandidi, Pietro Candida, Alfredo Corone Obregon, Antonio Castro Valencia, Abigail Cawley, Bilva Chandra, Joshua Chang, Rochelle Krabali, Yasmin Chowdhury, Fatia Chowdhury, Laura Choi, Jeffrey Cirillo, Jeremy Cohen, Spencer L. Cook, Bianca Corrigan, Maria Cornell, Ethan Corneau, Nikiforos L. Danaskas, Inez de Boissazon, Camila D. Ferrari, Adia Junia Di Filippo, Hannah Rune Delani, Gabriela Delgado, Prashant Desai, Brendan Alexander De Simone, Blake Javaharian, Vincent Lorenzo Dorr, Hannah Dumin, Mac Dresman, Luke Duffner, Rachel Dwikett, Owen Early, Brendan Eberts, Yasmin El Hassan, Ian Estavio, Brendan Ferguson, Elizabeth Fleshko, Stephen Frost, Gabriela Fuentes, Hannah Funk, Bryn Fury, Jake Gallant, Victor Andre Gamas Mayer, Maria Gaspar, Kaylee Gauze, Benjamin Isaac Goodman, Jake Glass, Alexander Gong, Annie Gott, Rocco Graziano, Jonathan Greenberg, Murphy Grasset, Sonia Gupta, Gabriela Hamoud, Joshua Haney, Adam Harrison, Alexandra Harron, Lauren Hennessy, Arisa Herman, Hadley Higginhurst, Sean Ho, Margaret Carol Hudson, Juliana Oliveira Hoff, Peyton Honeyblue, William Harrison Hurt, Carolyn Marie Heyer, Justin Iorio, First Lieutenant August A. Iorio, Sophie Marie Jacobson, Nabil Kapasi, Abhinav Katineri, Alexander Charles Kiley, Isaac Kim, Alejandro Canin, Alexander Keitelman, Ethan Connect, Nicholas Knowles, Kira Eve Kosis, Ko Ewan, Samet S. Kumar, Robert C. Kite, Jessica Claire Logano, Bianca Marie Lambert, Layla A. Lappins, Julian Nigel Lark, Tanner Larkin, Rebecca Laviola, Avery League, Cameron Leibowitz, Benjamin Lenine, Sean Lenore, Kaylee Ann Lawand, Cecilia Lee, William Bates Lindy, Isaac Liu, Sonia Leo, Emerson J. Leo, Beverly Rose Lobo, Bryce W. Lomas, Rosalie L. Louvis, Helen Lunsman, Angela Gladkirk, Victor Lynch Alzoa, Andres Alexander Marquez, Alejandra Martin Lopez, Juan Martinez, Mark Massa, Cameron C. Mata, Ces Matthias, Joshua Moss, Caroline McDonald, Christine McNeil, Sikshita Medaratha, Samrita Mehta, Ridwan Mia, Samantha Melconium, Yan Elias Menefee, I apologize. Yan Elias Menefee. Jan Elias Menefee. Nikola Markovich. Sadia Mi Lone. Minutala Mohammed. Madeline Marino. Arianda Marino. Christopher F. Mangello. Talia Navia Gonzalez. William Z. Wynn. Dina Nabat Hashem Nizam. Abigail Lynn Nichols. Angela Wynn. Harrison C. Nugent. Gonzalo Nunez. William O'Carroll. Andrew Orbe. Zachary Harrison Ocean. Inez S. Wilaman. Grace Alexandra Palmer. Hilary Papa. Veer Pakrit. Lauren Passay. Alexandra Yasmin Patel. Munair Pavez. Annalise Pfluger. Martin Pervez Ber. Gigi Pepitone. Adam Potter. Henry Mim. Sabrina Portamore. Kyle Austin Ratner. William Donald Henry Rao. Jack D. Reichert. AJ Ryan. Peter Leland Riley. William Peter Remsen. Emma Catherine Rhodes. John Michael Rendon. Hillary Foley Rizzo. Arthur Daniel Rodriguez. Cameron E. Rogers. Thomas Rouvier. Tate F. Risdall. Caroline Desay. Yasmin Salam. Serena Sampler. Sydney Sanders. Chloe Shallett. Caroline Lindsay Schauder. Katrina Schmidt. Matthew R. Schmidt. Eric Schofer. Walter Luke Sinkowski. David So. Shahaj Sarada. Siona Sharumu. Adam Shlomi. Joshua Sarah. Fiona Hannah Singer. Lionel Sim. Numratha Shivakoamar. John Smaltz. Isabel L. Smith. Amelia Virginia Smith. Kaylee Soderheim. Nadia L. Sudi. Maya Smith. Jane Song. Siraj Srinivas. Maria P. Chandrash. Cynthia Lynn Sun. Maria Elizabeth Swan. Kellington M. Swedish. Natalia Tahir. Rick Tamez. Peyton Elizabeth Temple. Victoria Catherine Tamides. Benjamin D. Thompson. Olivia Torbert. Amelia Trigo. Christian S. Trotti. Andrew J. Turner. Benjamin Timothy Ulrich. Hannah Ertz. Grace J. Vanderbilt. Leslie Yang Van. Olivia Vandervoort. Jack C. Van Scoter. Sophia Vegas. Sophia Vitello. Sonia Vori. Elena Walker. Amelia Ray Walsh. Casey Wong. Madeline Welsh. Aaliyah I. Williams. Jacob Alexander Witt. Taryn L. Wolfson. William Wu. Maximilian Wittig. Dasun Ojoy Yue. Julia Antau. And Munlan Zhang.
Will the 2020 graduates of the McDonough School of Business please stand? President DeGioia, as Dean of the McDonough School of Business, I have the honor to present to you the representatives of the McDonough School Class of 2020. Their names will be read by Senior Associate Dean Patricia Grant. As you approach the stage, please follow the directions of the ushers. You may be seated.
We now invite each graduate to cross the stage to be congratulated by Dean Almeida and President DeGioia. I ask the audience to hold its applause until all of our students have been recognized. Ratna Adhikari. Gustavo Amaral Gradowski. Leon Agee. Pedro Antonio Alvarez Santos. Aideen Ashraf Correa Sani. Mohammed Zayed Azman. Cameron J. Barr. Sebastian Bedoya. Gabriel S. Berkowitz. Eduardo Bertico. Eduardo Blacktain. Trey Bohannon. Anne Elizabeth Botis. Michaela J. Bruno. George Brennan. Leticia M. Brewer. Massimo Bucci. Maria Boyvid. Carolyn Cabrera. Kathleen Grace Cullivan. John Calderwood. Megan Carey. Patrick Carroll. Caprice Elizabeth Catalano. Daphne Chalabu. Fernando Severo. Claudine Chen. Elaine Zanyen Chen. Matthew Chestalowski. John Raymond Chicolo. Peter Chiterio. Walter Percy Chrysler II. Penn Conrad. Michaela Cornwall. Nicholas Jerome Kramer. Kristen Rita Crowley. Sophia Cutler. David Joseph D'Ambrisi. Brittany Lee Dargis. Joseph Delaney. Samuel R. Dern. Brian Deneen. Mark A. Devine. Isabella S. DeBarry. Elizabeth DiBraggio. Mark D. Pasquale. Patrick S. D. Pasquale. John F. Dolan. Michael Delmont. Alexa Dolby. Chandler Ryan Douglas. Brooke Marie Drake. Shannon Duffy. Mark Dyer. Emily Elizabeth Ale. Nicholas Andrew Elliott. Catherine Grace Ivanko. Filippo M. Fabrini. Marshall B. Feingold. Sarah J. Feld. Christy Felix. Andrew Christopher Filicoma. Orlando Figgis. Ashley Fitzgibbons. Jean-Baptiste Fisher. Mary Babbitt Flanagan. Rhodes Garner. Grace Elizabeth Flynn. Caitlin E. Fricella. Michael James Galbally. Lauren Beverly Gallagher. Christian Xavier Garcia. Christopher Ellis Gay. James Patrick Garrity. Emmanuel Gebremichael. Melissa Jill Estes. Beatrice Julie. Catherine Chun Sen Glazer. Alexander James Gloth. Leonardo Gonzalez Galando. Alicia Galamison. Aristides Nikos Hajempeli. Tara Halter. Patrick T. Halbert. Noah Hawkey. Liam Healy. Jocelyn C. Hernandez. Billy Hickmott. Maya Haraki. Samantha Ho. Henry Hollinshead. Justin Hong. Bethany Huh. Caroline Cabot Howard. Peter Liam Hunziker. Brandon S. Iverson. Jacob L. Janiak. Alexander Jairus. Lydia Kyo. Stuart Keener. Brendan J. Kelly. Gavin Kennedy. Esther Hyun Kim. Sam Kleinig. Carolyn Kershey. Rodrigo Ko. Connor R. Kramer. Maria Kulik. Francesca LaBianca. Piers Lamb. Zachary M. Lambraya. John Gregory Landolfini. Alejandro Lesmes. Kevin Benjamin Lynn. Joseph Samuel Lenarducci. Connor Lindquist. Liza G. Leota. Jesse P. Liu. Kaylin Liu. Elizabeth B. Lafredo. Jake D. Lefferbo. Natalia Lynch. Julian W. Malouf. Jennifer M. McCown. Francis John McGill III. Christian Mann Dracus. Jacob Noah Matthews. Alexis Nicole Maneri. Gabrielle Matella. Gabrielle Matetal. James McLennan. Kiara Megan McCrane. Kelly Sophia Membriano Barrios. Kate Toomey Mang. Stephen C. Menzia. Kira Mercer Salunda. Connor William Mick. Cole J. Miller. Christian W. Milat. Aaron Mukovich. Christina Mish. Jacob P. Mitchell. Mayo Mitchell. Luisa Carola Mizrahi. Jackson C. Morris. Jagan Mosley. Lorenzo Mascaro Domoral. Stephen Muccio. Jaime Muguero Liron de Robles. Ahmed Mukati. Ali John Mutlu. Tan Nazir. Kwang M. Nguyen. Richard Christian Nickel. Victoria Upsha. Christina Maria Ortiz. Isabel Ortiz. Christopher Pace. Lisa Park. Deron Payne. Madeline Julie Peloso. Colin Michael Petzold. Christopher J. Phillips. Guillermo Pla Zobel de Ayala. Harrison Porter. Julia Latrice Potts. Catherine Powell. Aaron Clayton Powell. Shyla Prasad. Jack Propisny. Sandra Nicole Puetri Aramis. Justice Cornelius Pugh. Mina Rahman. Allison M. Rigun. Alessandro Rodelli. Kevin Reed. Robert Allen Reed III. Eric Wren. Colby E. Reel. Fiona Judith Riley. Samantha Rogenkamp. Alessandra Romano. Nicholas Rotatori. Morgan Agustin Rue. Andrew Michael Robio. Michael D. Rudder. Luke Saunders. Benjamin Sarkis Payard. Blake Owen Sassaman. Olivia Schubert. Paige Sheehan. Juliette Sylvain. Kunal Inder Colby Quint Slivka. Madison G. Smith. Ryan K. Smith. Sarah Jill Stevens. Jordan Sweeney. Jamila Silla. Maria Silvia. Mara Silvia. Alicia Tacarante. Donovan R. Taylor. Peter Nicholas Tranas. Joseph Eugene Tripodi. Matthew Remington Unger. Peter S. Bospikaman. Nathan Edward Wakiovac. Chloe Wallace. Owen A. Walsh. Camilla Wasiak. Ian C. Whitmer. Fehan Shea. Kaiyi Shuye. Katie Alexa Yang. Jennifer May Thorpe Yates. Brian R. Yaffe. Monica Yoon. Lin Yuan. Young Yoon. Melissa Zhang. Ryan J. Zucala.
Will the 2020 graduates of the School of Continuing Studies please stand? President DeGioia, as Dean of the School of Continuing Studies, I have the honor to present to you the representatives of the School of Continuing Studies class of 2020. Their names will be read by Dr. Joseph Jensen. As you approach the stage, please follow the directions of the ushers. You may be seated.
We now invite each graduate to cross the stage to be congratulated by Dean Otter and President DeGioia. I ask the audience to hold its applause until all our students have been recognized. Ricardo A. Paredes. Aria Pun Rene. H. Lamont Remmels. Christopher Rowe.
It is my distinct pleasure and honor to present Dr. John J. DeGioia, 48th President of Georgetown, to offer closing remarks.
Well, it is an honor for all of us to be gathered with all of you. This morning, the class of 2020, your parents, your families, your caregivers, our faculty and staff, our friends, to our commencement speaker, Rashad Robinson, we're deeply grateful to you for sharing your insights and reflections with us on this very special day. And John and Sarah, it was well worth the wait to hear both of your remarks. Thank you very much for making this day that much more special with your presence. And to all of our colleagues who've worked so hard to make this day possible, I want to thank all of you. And on behalf of all of us here at Georgetown, to the class of 2020, welcome home. This is an exciting day, long awaited, much anticipated, the day that we mark your commencement. This is a moment for us to celebrate you, all that you experienced together, all that you achieved together, all that you mean to one another, and what you mean to this community. More than 2 years later, here we are, you're again together as a class. When you joined our community, you were invited to enter into our way of life, a way of being that has provided the intellectual, moral, and spiritual foundation for our common life together. Our way of life provides for us a feeling of connectedness, a sense of reassurance, a sense that even with all of the disruptions and dislocations of these past 26 months, this is your place, this is your community. That even with the abrupt break in March 2020, that you belong here, that you will always belong here as members of this very special community. I hope that as you experience this moment today and all the emotions that may come with it, you are able to experience a sense of consolation, a joy in returning to this place and reminding yourselves of the values that have guided us here, the people that have shaped us here, the moments that have provided us with insight and direction. We are so grateful to have this opportunity to share this moment with you and to thank you. So much has been asked of you. Your class had an experience unlike any other, facing immense uncertainty and challenge. This moment has required the very best in each one of us, the very best in all of us. And your class will be remembered for the responsibility that you accepted for one another and for all those around you, those across our communities. You honored this responsibility, guided by the deepest values that animate your lives, by the deepest values that shape our lives together here in this community. You brought out the best in one another. And the tradition that animates our Georgetown community that we believe when we seek the best in one another, well, we just might find the very best in ourselves. This will always be your community, and each of us and all of us has a responsibility to help sustain and strengthen this community. You took on this responsibility as undergraduate students, and it's a responsibility you take on anew as members of our alumni community. We could not be more grateful to have this time to welcome you back to Georgetown for a rite of passage that we have celebrated in this community for more than 2 centuries. It is a privilege to welcome you back to the hilltop and to have this opportunity to say to the members of the Georgetown University class of 2020, congratulations on your commencement.
We will now close our ceremony with the singing of the Alma Mater, followed by the benediction, which will be offered by Imam Yahya Hindi, Director of Muslim Life, The words and music are found at the back of your program. Please stand.
For 24 years, I waited for the moment when my oldest daughter walks on the stage, Nur Jannah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. O Creator of all things, known by many names, who has spoken to all people in all times through an abundance of prophets, dominated by no one race or land. Almighty living God of justice and compassion, we call upon your holy name to bless this graduating class 2022 and to 2020. To bless this graduating class 2020 and to bless this nation of ours and all the nations of the world. God, make this season of graduation one that inspires us to turn to love those fears, to inspire us to break the swords of war, to put off the fires of hate, and to march together in the gardens of kindness and liberty. We ask that you inspire our graduating class of 2020, the leaders of the future, with the ability to love unconditionally, to serve passionately, to humble themselves before your glory prayerfully, and to become a voice of truth and justice vigorously. God, we ask for a new season of hope and optimism, a new generation committed to tranquility around the world, and a new path of reconciliation between all nations and races. Living God, repair our souls so that we may echo the voice of reason, wisdom, and sanity in our very country and all over the world. God, give us the wisdom to realize that the redemption will be realized when all people return out of their exile from each other. And in doing so, God, grant our students graduating today with the courage of the strong, the endurance of the marathon runner, the hope of the young, the wisdom of the aged, and a faith that does not shrink when challenged, so that they may turn to each other and not on each other. Ya Rahmanu Ya Rahim, Ya Azizu Ya Kareem, and with a united voice, let us all say Amen. Thank you.
If you will, please remain standing in your places until the academic procession has recessed. Thank you especially to the musicians, to our speakers, to our guests, especially those who are watching through a webcast right now. We invite all of you, your families and friends, to join us at the reception immediately following this ceremony on Cooper Field, to meet with your faculty and fellow graduates. We had such an overwhelming response from the class of 2020 for this event. We've designated an area on the field for each school to gather. Check out your area. These areas will be denoted by a large numbered balloon. The college will gather at number 1. Nursing and Health Studies at number 2. The School of Continuing Studies at 3. The School of Foreign Service at 4. And the McDonough School of Business at 5. The graduating exercises of the class of 2020 are now officially at an end. May Georgetown live forever.
That back door, I saw that it's locked, so I guess if you just walk through this way, you should be okay in case you get locked out.
Oh, yes.